Oh, hello, my name is Basileus, and welcome to this little impromptu talk show I made up on the spot. Now, today we're gonna have a bit of a political and economic conversation slash discussion slash argument, um, which I will be calling Joey versus the world. And
I knew it.
Now, what is Joey versus the world? Basically, Joey has an opinion contrary to most of the people in this circle of friends. Ergo, this has created a lot of conflict, and right now we're gonna resolve all that conflict in a civilized debate. Now, the most civilized man I know, BBDavid, will be representing the group, in a sense. And Joey will be obviously representing himself. And I will be acting as the moderator, providing input where I see fit.
And I'm the show staff.
Yeah, he's my staff. Steve is my staff. Say hello, Steve.
Hi. My name's Fort28 Minor.
Yes, Fort28 Minor. I'll put a link in the description. Anyway, so is BBDavid, are you there?
Yeah.
All right.
What I said in chat will cover what I think about depression.
I can't.
Subject, please.
I can't I can't read the chat because the way I have it recorded. I'm recording this over this CK2 footage of the game map.
I'll read you what's in chat.
All right, read me what's in chat, Steve.
I cannot say due to copyright issues, but he put a link to a video. That's about it.
Okay, but all right, let's start off with now. If I remember, the first point of argument is a disagreement over the New Deal and was it a good idea. Let's start with you, Joey. What are your opinions on the New Deal created by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt? Joey?
Please no recording.
Yeah. I'm just getting this. I'm just getting this for the record.
That way, if we have a problem, we can bring it back up.
Yes, this is just for the record. Don't worry. I'm not going to use this. I'm
just have a case.
This isn't against you. This is just for the record.
Said you wanted a court martial, so this is technically a court martial.
This is basically the official.
I'm not part of your, army, so therefore.
And besides,
correct.
Basileus,
talk show is not
how big is your YouTube channel again?
I have 23 subscribers. It's not. A recording isn't going to be the end of the world.
We'll talk about this later, BBDavid. Back to the problem.
Okay. Now, Joey, I said you're leading this off, and the subject is the Great Depression, not the Great Depression, the New Deal. We'll get to the Great Depression later. The New Deal created by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. What is your opinion on the New Deal?
Like, you see, the biggest issue with the New Deal was he was making public works just like Nazis did. And yes, it does give the people money because the government is paying them. But according to some economists, and I do not have the book in front of me, but according to some economists, it lengthened the, oh gosh, FrostReaction, stop it. It lengthened, stop.
FrostReaction, please. FrostReaction, please do not harass the speaker. We're trying to be civilized.
Now, it lengthened the Great Depression by about 7 years, according to some economists. Not all. Everyone has opinions.
Okay.
And I disagree with the New Deal because him making all those jobs cost the government money, getting supplies and everything. And then those jobs went away. It would be better if you decrease the taxes on the big monopolies, which would make it even easier for them to open more factories, which would thus create more jobs. As everybody here, I bet you everyone here agrees with me, more factories equals more jobs. I mean, you just need people to work those factories.
Okay, BBDavid, BBDavid, what is your thoughts on that statement? Do you have any counter arguments?
Okay, look, even if you're right, I realize that like World War I had a whole bunch of people coming back and that have obviously disrupted the economy from like wartime to peacetime production. But even if you're right, we got Glass-Steagall out of that, which basically made it where you couldn't have like just like anti-competition because like a holding company just owned two competitors, And they also made it where
Fine.
oh, they separate like banks from the stock market. There.
Okay. So,
I'm questioning why he keeps saying stop.
Because
Okay,
it's
Joey.
getting annoying.
okay, so,
Pay attention to it.
okay. I would like, a statement from you, BBDavid. Can people stop spamming the chat? I'm trying to ask a question.
Well, I can fix it. Give me 1 second. So,
What? It's nice background noise.
okay, where's the thing that allows him to talk in chats?
Please stop
Stuff.
it.
Okay, so,
User was moved out of
Question-
your channel.
okay, so, BBDavid, what's your opinions on the statement in which Joey stated that we should have loosened regulations upon the corporations that held monopolies on businesses? What's your opinion on that statement?
User was moved to user
Okay,
joined
A,
your
kind
channel.
of what regulations, and B,
I returned.
at some point we need some competition, or monopolies at least have fear of getting broken up, or like they pay massive fines. But then again, court system's more or less like always get out of jail free cards, so you might as well just break them up into 2 or 4 companies.
All right. Now it has been brought to my attention. Joey, have you ever heard of Godwin's law?
Godwin's law? No.
Godwin's law is short for Godwin's rule of Nazi analogies, and it is a terminology. It's not a terminology. It is a term that basically states that an argument seems pretty lost when the first thing you break out is an analogy to the Nazis.
Or commies.
Because making an analogy to the Nazis, you're basically comparing something to one of the worst things in modern history, and breaking out that argument from the get-go and evoking Godwin's law, I'm not holding this against you, but that's not a smart move from a debate perspective.
But it's true. It's pretty simple.
I'm just saying, I personally disagree with you, but what I'm saying is that it's a bad move from a debate perspective, but moving on.
Well, I guess here's a good analogy for that. Name one country that went back to communism after the Soviet Union's collapse. That voted it in.
I really don't know. I don't. Do you? BB?
BBDavid?
Wait. I'm assuming you actually heard me, right?
He said,
Yes.
he said, you said name one country that voted to return to
And I said,
communism
do
after
not
the
know.
collapse of the Soviet Union, and he says he does not. Can you enlighten him, please?
Thank you.
Okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is that even like socialist countries like Sweden elect like far right anti-immigrant candidates because they're actually worried about like the massive immigration. So I'm just trying to say is that like just because you go to socialist state doesn't mean you can't go back to the right, or you can't go back to the libertarian right if you're worried about debt that goes like out of control, you're paying like 20% interest on or something. I'm just saying we actually have that because the conservatives here, and the conservatives are really supposed to be like the, I clean up the mess.
Now, that brings up something interesting, is another thing that has split Joey from the rest of this team speak is thoughts on the on socialism. Now, BBDavid, what are your thoughts on socialism?
Well, I guess just because people don't give as much a charity as is needed to make sure poor have decent upwards mobility.
So is that like that's not exactly what are your thoughts? That's just something about socialism. I want to know what your opinion is on socialism.
We should just more often.
BBDavid?
I just see it as basically like taking over the shortfalls of capitalism. Like, why wouldn't privatize water? Because they would just simply make the most convenient path while not caring about the pollution of the water. Through like trash or freaking sewage, etc.
So you think it's a more caring system?
No, I just see it as more or less
Can I speak?
that like
In a minute.
certain incentive structures make it where like nationalism really just seem like the only way.
Okay.
Score 1 for the boys back.
Yeah.
Or at least like regulation of that private sector.
Yeah, I see. I understand that. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Joey, what? I know you're vehemently against socialism. Why is that? What is your beef with socialism?
Because they tax.
Because they tax?
Tax.
No, I'm sorry, I was not clicking on the button while I was speaking.
Oh.
No, because they take from the rich and they give to the poor. They're like Robin Hood, and that's bad.
Robin Hood is bad. If I'm to be frank, isn't Robin Hood the hero of the story, not the villain? I don't remember King John being the hero of Robin Hood.
Anyway,
I'm
to
muting
the
myself now.
topic at hand. Now, if you're being so, how do you call it, generous to the populace, it's going to encourage them not to work as much, and it'll ruin business incentive. I mean, this is not a socialist, but just as an example for incentives. You see communist countries where basically, at its barest, everybody gets paid the same, and nobody has really as much incentives as if in a capitalist country where you get $50 an hour, let's say, as a doctor, and about 5 as a manual laborer. Now, those are not actual salaries, but just for example purposes. Now, getting those salaries, you're definitely going to want to try and be a doctor instead of the manual laborer. It's incentive. Also, in socialist countries, you'll notice how they give free colleges. But the problem with that is you get a lot less options, and if you don't do very good, unlike in America, you can just pay your way in, you're basically stuck without a college. So socialist countries, yes, they are more generous, but there's less business incentive.
If I may put my 2 cents in here, isn't the United States one of the only like great powers in the world that does not have like a universal healthcare or schooling?
The United States in the Constitution has no mention of healthcare. Healthcare was only brought about by the Barack Obama.
Yeah, but the thing is
Insurance scheme.
The thing is, in like the 1700s, there wasn't really a concept of healthcare.
User disconnected from your channel.
Who left?
Joust. No one.
But in the 18th century, there wasn't really that much of a big concept of healthcare. But anyways, that I digress. But BBDavid, do you have any counter arguments against Joey?
Well, I guess I'll start with the inequalities. Like, okay, well, could you actually use 50 billion even if you tried, Joey?
Well, yes, because you see the 1% that I know of, as you call it, and I believe it's more than, because in the exact thing, the 1% that they call it is 400. Anybody that makes 450 grand or more a year, there's more than 1% of the people in the United States that make that. But extremely rich people, yes, because they donate a lot of money, and I know that as a matter of fact.
You may want to check what Bill Gates donates his net worth.
But there's ways you could always spend anything. Donations.
Now, Baz, I hate to steal your show, but I've been meaning to ask this. What's your view on healthcare?
Yes, that's a good question.
Nationalized healthcare is actually hurting America. It is hurting it. I know many.
We don't have that.
We don't have that.
Now, let me explain something. From what I've known, and I looked this up, and this is true, you looked this up yourself, the United States is one of the only few, or the only major power in the world that does not have universal healthcare. Your thoughts?
What?
We should not get a universal healthcare. It's pretty bad. It hurts the country.
Yeah, but all the other great powers do.
Even free market Hong
Yeah.
Kong, they're the freest market in the world.
And if I may, if I
Larger than the
may
United States of
offer
America.
1 cent on Joey said things about being generous to the poor, but one
good, you
thing
should take
is
gifts every day.
isn't charity a virtue? And that's besides the point. But I remember when studying ancient Rome being a passion of mine to study. But one thing is that during times when the ruling class, during like the time of Julius Caesar, during his reign, and during the reign of Emperor Augustus, they were
Yes,
very
yes.
charitable towards the people of Rome, and Rome prospered. It flourished into a golden age for their empire.
But here's the difference. Look, if the United States, when the government, or well, not the United States, socialist countries, then the government takes your money and makes you donate it to people. Not donate, it's called taxes, and they give it to people. That is not as good as when people simply say, I'm donating my money to these people and I'm going to do this. It's a tax.
But why?
Yes, but it's a fact that taxes are necessary for a government to maintain
They
itself.
are.
I
Maintain
agree, but
roads
not
and
for
public
social.
systems
Not
and such.
yeah. I never said that's bad. That's needed. Everybody
Also,
needs that.
also, this has been bugging me, and I want you to put us. Excuse me, I interrupt. Put us in knowing your knowledge about everything in the Middle East and about the wars and such like everything we know about today. Would you still say it was a good thing still going to war, Iraq and Afghanistan, all that crap in the Middle East? Do you, even though backing today, you still think it's a good thing
Do you support the war in Iraq? Is basically the question.
knowing everything?
Yes.
Basically.
If I may ask, yes, why do you support the war in Iraq?
They're an enemy of our allies.
They're an enemy of our. But what are
So
your
you're
thoughts?
saying
Wait,
going to the Middle East and splitting up the multi-regions
Wait.
is a
Before
good thing.
I'm the one asking the questions. Remember, but I'm the one asking the question. But yes, but still, I'm the one in charge of this. But didn't if I remember correctly, weren't we directly lied to by our own government in the false statement that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, so we were basically lured into a war that we didn't necessarily need to be into?
Hi, sweetie.
I'm in the middle of a political
we
thing,
believe
Mom.
that. They have weapons of mass destruction.
Mom, I'm doing politics.
Of mass destruction. But do you guys know about the country called Israel?
Yes, Israel, the Jewish state created at the end of World War II.
Yes, 48. Now, Iraq was shooting scuds into them. All the countries around them were shooting scuds. You know that, right?
And you still.
Well, yes, that had been going on for years, and yet there had been conflicts between the Israelis and the Arabs for years, and yet we didn't go into some gung ho war. It was only until after we were convinced that their
Oliver,
weapons.
please, this is his show.
Until, you can say something in a minute. Just let me finish my point. It was only until we were basically lied to by President Bush and his administration that we actually went into the Middle East. And Oliver, what did you want to say?
See, I am a supporter of the Armed Middle Forces. I am a Baker supporter. I have a lot of my family who's been in, etc., etc. However, this is one of the few wars that I actually don't think was really necessary, besides Vietnam and all that crap. I just don't think it's really like.
It was
It was one of those wars like we.
an unnecessary war.
Because, put it this way, if you look at it now, we really had to go in a second time, and it's still not fixed.
Ah,
And it's just a
that was the
giant
issue.
mess.
When we pulled out the first time, that was the problem.
You think
No,
the
problem is
problem?
we went into-
Wait.
we went into it
You
themselves.
wait.
But
You think
Oliver, this isn't your argument.
you think the problem was leaving
Well, now it is.
Iraq? One moment, Oliver. When I asked you to speak, you speak, and same thing with him. When I ask people to speak, they speak. We are civilized men. But so you Joey, I don't think I'm hearing you correctly because I'm hearing. I think there's something crazy in my ear. But you're saying that the problem was not invading hard enough.
Yeah. Look, this is the problem America has had with recent wars. We haven't put everything into it. When you put everything into war, and you're America, you're gonna win and you're gonna fix the things. But when you only put a
Not
little bit,
always.
and please don't interrupt me. This is civilized. That's bad said. That is his talk show. Anyway, when you put everything into it, you can win. And you will win, but you better dedicate the whole country to it extremely, and you will have to do a lot of work for it. But pulling out is what made it unstable, and then the Iraqis now hate America because of that. So,
Well, no, that's not necessarily true. The Iraqi army is on our side in fighting ISIS.
Guys,
What is it?
do you realize
Yes, John.
going into the Middle East and killing Saddam Hussein? I think going in there completely screwed over the Middle East and caused ISIS.
Well,
That's what I think.
well, ISIS did. It is true
Stop.
that ISIS arose in the power vacuum that we left after
Also,
Hussein
Also,
was
exactly, power
deposed.
vacuum, that was the issue.
And also, if I may
I
say
agree.
something, Joey, didn't you basically say if the United States went full-fledged war, dedicated its whole entire thing to military like we did during World War II, etc., we basically take out any country. So basically saying that we should basically be like 100% military like Germany was during like the whole entire World War I, War II era.
So basically, militarism is what you're
But
you're
we
saying.
do not oppress. We free people.
America did
Well,
not press us.
the thing is,
That's
one
a
man's
lie.
well, there's an old saying, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. That's an old saying.
William Wallace was a terrorist to the English, but he was an immense freedom fighter to the Scottish. I say he was a freedom fighter. He was fighting the English king for his freedom.
Can I
his
please go against
family's
Joey
freedom,
now?
No,
and people's
wait.
freedom.
Listen, the freedom fighters. I understand freedom fighters, but people that run around chopping hands and chopping heads off.
Yeah, that's a horrible thing.
And
Yeah.
torturing, murdering. I mean.
To be fair, we
sacrificing
also torture. That's something we also do.
Can I
Anal
just
feeding,
say?
look it up.
By the way, one thing is, I don't know the reason why ISIS is so powerful right now. Because America is technically giving them guns.
I
You're
agree.
arming-
I agree.
You're arming
I agree.
the militia. Basically, what
I
America's
know.
doing, you're arming the militia, and the militia succumbs to ISIS, and ISIS gets their guns. Basically, don't give them guns. Give the people, give the government of the Middle East either money or support. Don't give the militia weapons.
No, don't give them money because then they're just gonna give that to ISIS and ISIS will get guns that way.
Yes,
No,
but
I agree. America is inadvertently giving guns to the ISIS. I agree.
Please fight him now.
no, not yet. Not yet. Okay, but one thing I know about this war and the war on terror is that what quickly before I ask this, before I make this statement, you think that
User was kicked out of your channel.
Turkey is one of our allies who got kicked?
Frost.
Oh.
False.
Turkey is an ally of the United States. What are your thoughts on the Turks before I make the statement?
Well, I'm not so knowledgeable on that subject. So
On the Turk? Well, all right. Now, what if I told you that the Turks are still denying our allies, the Turks, are not only ruled by an oppressive regime that oppresses the critics of their President Erdogan, but they still refuse to admit a genocide that they committed during the First World War.
yeah, I know all about that.
The Armenian genocide.
Yep.
And
You know what's weird though?
there are
Great grandfather was killed in the Turkish army during World War I.
yes, but they are our allies.
Pretty bad. They force people to go in.
Yeah, they're our allies, and yet they still refuse to admit to genocide.
Germany's your
and-
allies.
Yes, but they admit to their wrongdoings. Turkey has yet to do that.
Yeah, well, that's pretty messed up.
And their president, President Erdogan, prosecutes more than 3 critics of himself a day.
Yeah, that's bad.
Then pray tell, why the hell are we allied with them?
Well, I don't know. Obama should go ahead and attack them, but he
Because-
won't.
We can't. Well, that's a pretty radical
America
statement. We
can't
can't just invade Turkey. That's not a thing we can just do.
You can't invade anyone you play. America can't invade anyone you please. America's just a bully right now. America's all it is a bully.
Charles, please.
The thing is, we can't just declare we can't just declare wars out of the blue. Because one interesting thing about the war on terror, is that technically by American legal standards, it's an illegal war because Congress never passed an act of war. In fact, the same thing with Vietnam. It is a power.
Korea was a policing action.
Well, the thing is, it is a power vested
in. It was declared
in
a police action, so therefore it was legal. So they're declaring it a. You see, this is something I am knowledgeable on, and once they declare police action, it is not technically a war, therefore perfectly legal.
Yes, but still, it's a pretty scummy thing to dodge around, to just dodge the question like that on our part, where we're saying that we're not fighting a war, we're just policing another country by sending armed forces into their nation.
Take that off me.
I'm in a game. I'm in game right now. I can't go into the team speak.
Yeah,
So,
come on, but I got assigned a really bad channel group.
Well, I'll deal with it later. But don't you think it's in my opinion, it's a pretty scummy thing the way we're framing it, in the way that we're not invading a country per se, we're just policing them by sending armed forces into their country and fighting them. It's a pretty scummy
Let me ask you a
thing.
question. Now, I just want to know one thing.
Okay.
What's your opinion on Israel?
Israel. It's a nation in the Middle East. Middle East is a political quagmire. I don't see why we need to... Israel's not the big shit that we need to, focus on. Our main focus in the Middle East should be helping...
Do you like them or do you hate them?
I'm neutral towards Israel. I don't hate them. I don't jump to Israel's aid whenever they fucking get the sniffles. But
We move that.
yes, I don't jump to the aid of the Israelis whenever they get the sniffles, but I'm not necessarily
All right, stop.
lining up.
No, not you. Whoever keeps doing this.
I'm not necessarily
I shouldn't have to.
lining up when... I'm not necessarily lining up to butcher them either. Why do you ask my opinion on the Israelis?
Because I like them.
Wow.
You're a staunch supporter of the Israelis?
I hate them so
Mhm.
much, dude.
Yeah, I am.
Did you
Can we get our
Can I
opportunity to talk, me and Charles and maybe Howard?
All right, yeah.
Can I
all right.
just take Steve out of the channel for a second?
All right, you guys handle that, and I'm gonna bring you into this soon, BBDavid.
User left your channel.
BBDavid, what's your opinion on the Israelis?
Look, at some point, yes, come on. I hate how Muslims think they can just take the territory increment by increment, but at the same time, they're bulldozing Palestinian homes, which is just like, come on. Like, are you gonna really piss them off? Just piss them off, just get, military contracts, etc. And the thing is, we also don't divide by religious lines in Iraq. Basically, the Sunni and Shia should be divided, but they're not. So it causes Arab Springs to some extent, and also, the corrupt government.
User was moved
And
to your channel. User
basically
joined
we,
your channel.
Arm and be like, hey, we're arming rebels. Well, no, it's starting to go to ISIS, and
All right, what does the arming of ISIS have to do with the Israelis?
No, it's more like unintentional arms. I guess I was just giving an overlay of.
So basically, what you're saying is our involvement in the Middle East has given an aid to to terrorist groups such as ISIS. Now, it is true that we have it is true that we have supplied terrorist groups before, such as during the Cold War when the Soviets invaded Afghanistan. We supplied Osama bin Laden with weapons. That's kind of the big fuck up of that era before we kind of fucked up again with one thing we tend to do is we underestimate the people we fight. We just think we're gonna get a clean victory because herder, we're America, we're gonna win. But a clean victory, yeah, a clean victory requires concise tactical thought. We can't just put the military machine to use and just expect victory. That's not how wars work.
But here, listen. About bulldozing Palestinian homes. Those Palestinians run around every week, stabbing and killing people, and blowing them up. And look, the Palestinians are told, look, you could go ahead, live in the city. We don't care. But no, the Palestinians instead say, we want to be refugees, and say, go ahead, live with everybody else. And what the Palestinians say, no, we want to be refugees. So, I mean, come on.
Palestinians don't want to be refugees. They just want a fair share of their homeland that they've lived in ever since the province of Judea was lost to the Eastern Roman Empire during the rise of the First Islamic Caliphate.
But they're said you can live and we don't care, but instead they make all different riffraff about it, and I know this as a fact because I was there. They're not really. You have to drive around in bulletproof vehicles sometimes because of them. I mean, they blow people up, they stab them, they kill children. That's not friendly.
Not every Palestinian is framed that way.
No, I did.
Well, but
I never said.
of them.
I never said all of them because there are many of them that live in the society like normal human beings, and they're just normal.
I'm just for the record, I'm not protecting anyone who blows people up like a bunch of crazy people. It's just that the way you're framing that Palestinians want to be refugees, that's a logical fallacy. That's like saying poor people want to be poor.
Some people like being the victims, and so they get weapons and then they go and kill people. I mean, look.
Wait, people like being the victims so they can kill people?
Yes, it's self-victimization. It's something.
Well,
right, Charles, please.
I'm pretty sure no one ever wants to be the victim. I mean, war is not feminism. You're not trying to be the victim in war. No one in war wants to be the victims because.
But look, if you're told go ahead and live with everybody in the city, but you say no.
Well, yeah, because the countryside of Palestine is their.
It's Israel. It's not Palestine.
Yeah, but it was Palestine for like ever since it was lost to the Roman Empire, and
because they called after the Plishtim.
Okay, but still. That land, I'm gonna call it a more neutral name, the Levant. The middle area of the Levant, in between the Sinai Peninsula and Syria, has been the home of the Palestinian people ever since the Roman Empire lost that territory, which they called Judea.
But if you look, it was renamed. So if it's renamed, now it's to be called by that. So I don't.
Yeah, I know. I know, but I'm just giving the history of the region.
That's calling Austria Hungary.
You're not gonna call like. There's a difference between a nation being divided into two and discussing the history. I'm not trying to call that. I'm discussing the history of the region. I'm not saying that Israel isn't a legitimate state. I'm just discussing the region, because like there was a time during like the Crusades and shit where it was called the Kingdom of Jerusalem, and when I'm talking about like that land during the era of the Kingdom of Jerusalem, I'm gonna refer to it as the Kingdom of Jerusalem.
You might like Have you ever heard of a book called The Conquest of Mexico and the Conquest of Peru? It was written in 1855.
Mm.
It's a very good book. It has lots of passages from the 1500s. It's a bit racist.
Well, it
Um,
it was during that time in history, but
They basically said things like all Jews are rapists and in the land of Palestine, which it was called that, so I'm not going to debate
Yeah.
that, but I mean, that's a little racist. And then they saw different things about savage,
Hey,
red-skinned,
wake up.
cannibal creatures.
uh,
But
um.
it's a good educational book that you can learn from.
Well, I'm not sure I would like necessarily like to learn from a book of that nature, but okay, I'm just gonna keep that down for the record. But anyways, moving on. Moving on. I'm not trying to. Okay. I'm not trying to say that that Israel's not a legitimate state. I'm just saying that for the longest time it was referred to as Palestine because even like the Jews did live there for a long time. I'm not denying that, but they hadn't been living in that area in such a concentrated amount since
They were killed
since
by the governments.
since the Roman Empire under the rule of Emperor Vespasian, I believe, sacked Jerusalem. And
what really messed it up was, you know, the Ottoman Empire, right?
the Ottoman Empire was, yes, it was a historically rather tolerant empire.
Rather, but I had family that lived under the Ottoman Empire.
Yeah.
I'm
And
really scared
they
because
would-
Frost wants to talk, and I'm really scared.
Don't
We'll-
worry.
we'll bring him
They
in
would
a minute.
tax- They would tax people that were not Muslim.
Well, yeah, that's referred to like
And-
that was a common practice throughout the Islamic world was that
Then-
non-Muslims paid a special tax.
And also they were discriminated against. And during World War II, they almost like were murdered. But
The
they
Ottoman
were-
Empire wasn't around during
Not-
World
no,
War II.
But where they lived in the same exact area wasn't a very nice place to live.
Yeah,
at
but during
time.
that time, during
Those European Jews.
during the after post World War One, Jerusalem, like that area, like the Levant was under British control.
Can we talk now?
Yeah, well, I'll grant you one permission to talk at a time, but like, what are your thoughts, Steve, on his claims, dealing with the Ottomans in World War II, a time in which they did not exist?
God,
Wh-
no.
I meant the area,
Cover all the histories.
and that's why there wasn't many.
What's
living
the
there.
area? What is the area? What does that mean?
I don't even know what's
Yes.
going on.
What-
I've basically pretty much been painting this whole entire time.
What does the area mean? I want a definition of that.
Can we go on something I actually know about? Because I could really care less about the history of the Ottoman Empire.
Well, that's pretty bad. You should care about that.
No, what does the area mean? You're dodging the.
Hold up.
What is
Any
the?
reason why I should
No, the area of what? Do you mean Turkey? Do you mean the Levant? What are you referring to? I need answers. What are you referring to,
Hey,
Joey?
wake up.
I'm not. I can't minimize. Poking me ain't gonna do shit.
Put it this way, Frost wants to speak.
Okay.
He's-
Okay, Frost, you
Let him
can
speak,
you
so
can
shut
speak
up.
in a moment. You can speak in a moment, but Joey, I want you to answer this question first. What
Israel.
area? So the Levant, which was under the control of Britain during World War II, but anyways, so yeah, I kind of just got you there, but anyways, Frost would like to speak. Put Frost on the line.
No, don't.
Put FrostReaction on the line, but please, FrostReaction, be while you can bring out the roast machine. I want you to be courteous in your roasting. Is that a possibility?
Oh, Oh hell no! Hell no! That is fucking no.
Okay, what are your thoughts on what Joey
User
has
left
said
your
so
channel.
far? What are your
Literally
thoughts?
leave.
User was moved to your channel.
What's your tell me what's your thoughts on what
No,
Joey
I
has
can't- I
said?
can't deal with this.
No,
I cannot deal with
ju-
this.
just
Can't deal with my fucking roast.
Joey, Joey, calm down. And I'm gonna listen to what Frost says. Then I'm gonna decipher it, and then we're gonna discuss it. Okay, Frost, what are your thoughts on what Joey and the arguments he's had with the likes of myself, BBDavid, and Steve?
He's a racist cunt.
User disconnected from your channel.
I'm done. I quit.
I can't even. That was just.
That was just so random.
It just
He's a terrorist cunt.
right out the bat. But okay, so what are you? All right, so what are your reasons for calling Joey, as you so
He's
delicately
gone.
put
Joe,
it?
Frost is gone.
Okay, that was his only comment.
Frost left.
All right, seems legit. John Sharpe, are you there? What are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on Joey's arguments against the likes of myself, BBDavid, and Steve, and now John with his glorious statement of just you're
Yeah,
gonna.
you can end it.
I just want to hear John's thoughts first.
Goodbye.
There's something I missed.
Wait, what is it? What is it?
There's something I missed on economy. You can talk about foreign policy. Just let me get back.
No.
to that.
I want to go one-on-one with Joey here.
What you can go. That's gonna be the grand finale, is the one-on-one with Steve and Joey.
Please, I want to say my part.
So you say your part real quick, BBDavid. What do you want to say?
Okay, basically the thing about like there's this thing about welfare disincentivize people. Okay, well first off, Sweden actually has work requirements and Bill Clinton passed block grants, so actually requires job requirements or you don't get your welfare, and same thing with Britain. And also college will make it where I can get a better job, obviously.
User was moved to your channel.
And the private colleges, they're actually in scandals about
Oh, no, it's Frost.
not being able to teach that well. Like
can't
not giving
talk.
real skills.
Oh, thank goodness.
And
He's
and
reloading as we speak.
even free market Chile has free college, which is Milton Friedman's playground. What else? Was there anything else I could say? No, that's about it.
I demand.
On
I'm
the
just
economy,
listening. I'm saying one thing before I ban Joey again.
No.
I've been
Don't.
sitting and waiting here to say
Yeah.
Wait,
something
if
for
you're gonna
about
do
an
that,
hour.
Dude, don't bring down the ban hammer. We're
User
trying to be.
disconnected from your channel.
He left.
This is what I do. This is what happens when I try to be civilized. You
Okay,
numbskulls.
Me and Frost roasting down right and right. Frost roast me.
Talk
Hey,
power
Trish, just
revoked.
banned for 5 hours. Frost, okay?
Okay.
I'm just trying to be civilized and hold a debate. For the love of God, you people.
Yes,
You people aren't. This is why I
I've
don't.
been sitting here for about an hour waiting to speak, and I have to go soon. I'm wasting all my time here, so thanks all of you pricks. Wasting my time. Like I'm watching videos and doing other stuff, probably more useful than this. Thanks, guys. Actually, not you, Frost. You're good. Everyone else, though.
Oh, just because I didn't want to dogpile a guy and I wanted to have a
Bye.
civilized
User
argument.
disconnected from your channel.
You know, I guess this is
Frost,
the price of having a civilized argument.
I want
The-
to 1v1 you.
But
Oh, I'm gonna lose.
anyway,
User was moved to your
I
channel.
can I get some last thoughts
User joined
from
your channel.
Can I get some last thoughts from Mr. FrostReaction and
Yeah, thanks, John.
from Mr. FrostReaction and
Joey's back.
okay, can I get some last thoughts from
Back
FrostReaction?
again. This idiot racist cunt.
Okay.
My friend.
Okay. That's your ending thought. But BBDavid, are you there?
Baz, don't you have...
Talk
Be-
power
I
granted.
can't talk.
BBDavid. Hello.
Give me a second. There you go.
BBDavid.
Joey
Yeah.
needs...
So what you were trying to say before John kind of upstaged you? You're saying something about
User
Sweden.
in your channel timed out.
having work requirements for welfare.
User
Same as
was
America,
moved
like
to your
when Bill Clinton
channel.
passed block grants.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
basically, even the socialized countries have work requirements. I'm just trying to say is that like they don't allow you to go cradle to grave.
Yeah. I mean, like that's the thing, is that you can't just get like laws are designed to not
Yeah, sorry for all that.
to close.
I like
Laws
to-
are designed to like close loopholes and such. And yeah, I understand what you're saying, BBDavid. Yeah, work requirements are a thing.
User disconnected from your channel.
So
Oh
Joey,
yeah, and also one other thing, and also they have stronger democracies, as in like the gerrymandering is not as bad, like minus Britain. And
you see, the
basically,
problem with
people actually vote because they
democracy.
feel like their vote could count. So if they're worried about oh all's dead or hey this public service sucks, I can vote out and get someone to cut it, like the conservatives or libertarians.
so like, okay,
Problem
what
with democracy.
what do you have? All right, what the problem with democracy? Go.
Yeah,
go.
you see,
Continue.
United
Your
States is not
channel
a,
was edited.
what the okay. The problem with
User
democracy
joined your
is
channel.
we should have as America is, it's a republic, democratic republic. Now it means that everybody votes, yes, but we vote on representatives.
Uh,
And originally we didn't vote
That's
ever
okay.
consider president.
yeah, that
The problem with a full democracy like Athens had, it's mass rules, which means you could just commit genocide at the flick of a heel. Everyone says, we want to kill the Muslims, we want to kill the Jews. I mean, then that's what's happening because that's a democracy at its
So I guess you'd be
finest.
against like workplace.
Yeah, but the
democracy,
thing
like
is,
managers.
that's the most extreme scenario. And now a direct democracy wouldn't work in America because of the size of the country, but still going full republic isn't necessarily a good thing because
That's
like-
why we're a democratic republic.
yeah, but look at like the Electoral College. That's a complete goddamn mess.
Yeah, it doesn't even protect the small states, which was its intended idea.
What the Electoral College ultimately does is, hey, your
Why are you
vote.
saying glory to USSR.
Basically, the Electoral College is basically, hey, you common man, fuck you. You're gonna.
Lucky, we hope to protect smaller states, although they all campaign Ohio and Florida still.
But yeah, the Electoral College
Can I-
is
Can we have a roasting battle between me and Joey now?
no, almost. The Electoral College is a complete clusterfuck, and that's where things in a republic can go horribly wrong. What are your thoughts on the
That's
Electoral
why
College?
we have a part of democracy. We blended it.
Yeah.
Democratic republic.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Democratic
it's
socialism, please.
yeah, but the thing is, it's not really
Be-
because
Your channel was
because Joey, we don't
Oh,
when
come
you
on.
vote for president, you're not really voting for president. You're voting for an elector to go to the Electoral
channel was
College. And technically, although while they're supposed to vote for the guy that their county voted for, or for what their state voted for, they technically,
Yeah, the
by
first
law,
one is-
are not required to do that. So honestly, like an elector,
super delegates.
An
I just
elector-
read super delegates. I know
User
that already.
disconnected
I know
from
all
your
about this.
channel.
It's the Democrats who have these super delegates.
yes, but still, like it also is in the Republican system that an elector
Oh, we're
can-
gonna take all states.
can.
It was to BBDavid I was talking about
Can-
that because I know about the super delegates. Yeah, I disagree with super delegates. But then BBDavid, if you like socialism so much, just move to like a socialist country.
Well, at some point they are just a lot less populated. Like, basically, it's just that. Do you expect like a
Go to
population of
Russia.
30 million people to be able to take in like 150 million people who actually want to go there, have a job,
Server
like
group
have skilled
assigned.
work, just
Again.
send you. Or same for Sweden or Germany, etc.
Yeah, like
Server group revoked.
things in like
Watch
Europe tend to be relatively stable, unlike the like the thing is
Because I hate it. I'm
You're-
asking him because he likes
the
that.
European countries tend to be far more stable because America is a very turbulent nation, whereas Europe is, by contrast,
User disconnected from your channel.
is far more stable, and Europe is socialist. No, why is it? Is if socialism is such an awful, terrible system as you say, why is Europe more stable, and why are the people of Europe typically more tolerant than
And
the people of
happier.
America?
That's the problem.
What, they're tolerant and happy? That's the problem?
User left
They're
your
not.
channel.
I know that as a fact. They're not. I have people that live in Denmark, and the Denmark people are very racist. So no.
Very what system?
The
Denmark.
The Danes are
Danes.
racist?
Yeah,
I'm not
I know that.
Did you? I'm pretty sure they're not, because the Danes. It's
User
either the
moved
Danes
user
and the
to your
Norwegians, but either one of them. The Scandinavian nations, which are like the most socialist of the European nations, are the happiest nations on Earth.
I tend to disagree because they are pretty racist in Denmark.
Yes,
That could
but
just be because of Muslim influxes and that they actually like suck in their jihad to some extent.
yeah, but like the thing is,
Basically, they will not like listen to Western teachings very much. Like they'll just want to go to Muslim schools forever.
the Scandinavian countries.
Between Steve and I. Just to
Yeah,
add this,
I know, but
please.
I want to say one last thing. I want to have one last thing with you. If socialism is bad, why are the most socialist countries in Europe, the Scandinavian nations, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, why are the people there statistically the happiest on Earth?
They're not. They're just happy for the government.
No,
It's
no.
like Peru.
And
You see
how would you
Peru?
know?
Statistically,
How about you Google it?
I'm gonna pull
No,
up.
how do you statistically say you're happy? They could just put on the statistic, I'm happy.
So
It-
basically, what you just said means nothing, really.
Oh, I don't know how many friends they have. Like, do they actually enjoy
Happiest
public services? Do they
nation
enjoy,
on
like, what
Earth.
stuff they have?
the happiest nations on Earth
Their nature.
are Denmark, Switzerland, Iceland, Norway, and Finland.
Okay, so we'll move into
Whoa, what about
Scandinavia
the
then.
South American countries like Costa Rica?
Costa Rica is in the top 15, along with the United States, Austria, and Israel.
Canada.
Hey.
But still,
Canada,
the Scandinavians,
You can't say that.
but still, the Scandinavians are statistically happier than us. Why do you think that is?
But in America, you get freedom of speech.
They have that too. That's also a
Ah.
Oh,
thing.
No. Let me go on a rant. Like, seriously, the media literally has an incentive to censor people if they have, like, contradictory information that's actually informative as facts that they can't rebut.
I was speaking.
Especially of consumer goods. Like, oh, hey, I know technically why your product sucks. I'm gonna delete your comment, bud.
Yeah, they also have free speech. That's a thing.
But it can be, it could just be taken away from them. In America, it cannot. About the Constitution. Then, wait. This is one topic I've been wanting to bring up. Then we put into use just second amendment, where we could destroy a tyrannical government.
So basically, you're saying
Okay,
that you
where's
want
the
to
rocket
overthrow the United
launchers,
States government,
tanks?
basically. No.
No, I
please.
never said that. I said
Please,
if
let
there's a
me go my
tyrannical.
The
rant.
freedom of speech is there's freedom of speech restrictions in America. That's not a thing that's unique to Europe. Europe isn't some like censor happy
NSA.
place. Yeah,
Say, goddammit.
like that's a thing we do in America. That's like but anyway, you said you wanted to get on the argument with Steve.
Yes, or I could just get this over with.
All right,
Oh, wait,
Steve.
no, Emmy.
Wait,
Alright.
One last thing.
Fight
Okay.
me. Fight me.
What? All right. What did you want to say, Joey?
What's your stand on the Second Amendment?
It needs to have certain limitations,
Well, let me
but
give
you
one
can't.
example before you speak. One example. In Texas, there was let's make fun of Muhammad Day. Let's make stupid drawings of him. And so two Arabs came inside with AK-47 screaming, Allah Akbar. And they walked inside the convention and they were about to kill everybody. Then all Texans pulled out their sidearms and blew their brains out. Only 2 people died, the terrorists with the AKs.
So that you realize that that's a very loaded statement, right?
What do you mean?
Like, you can't just start off by automatically jumping to terrorism, because the thing is, it's a very what you were saying with like the Second Amendment. It's a double-edged sword. Now I believe that people should have the right to own like a pistol or a handgun, but like with shits like
Shotgun.
assault with not assault rifles. No, I'm vehemently against
Not open carry, only
How
target
dare
practice.
because
I did
we
target practice.
because the thing is, an assault rifle like an AK-47 or an M16, those like that's the
For
kind of
handgun.
thing that should be trusted with the armed forces and the police, people who are
Me.
to protect the citizen. Now the citizen
That's
can
the
be
punching
armed.
card.
The citizen can be armed, yes,
That's
but
fine.
not. They don't need to be armed to the teeth with military-grade equipment.
I go hunting with a tank.
But it's very handy to have. I mean, there was one guy in, I forgot the exact state, but I was reading this in the thing, and he heard two people outside his house, and they were stealing his car, so he pulled out his AR-15 and killed them both.
Yeah, but he could have done the same thing with a pistol. That's
No, it's easier with an AR-15 because you
Yes,
punch
but-
through things.
Yes, but still, like an AR-15 is overkill.
And
It's not. It's
M16,
not.
and M4.
Nothing is overkill when your life is
Okay,
at
well
risk.
that being said, here, let me go get a minigun and bring it into school. That's definitely smart.
Yeah,
That
but
you
like-
can't pick up a
definitely
minigun.
Yeah, but the thing is,
See, that's the issue.
the thing is
no.
still, he could have done the same thing with a pistol. All I'm saying is that like military grade assault rifles shouldn't be they can be trusted in the hands of private citizens, yes, but not every,
target
but not
practice.
but not but things like target practice ranges, not in the hands of every. Not in the hands of every private citizen, because gun auctions
No.
and such. At gun auctions and stuff, you can completely bypass a background check.
Nah, background checks are bad.
What? What?
Okay, now please let me put me in, coach.
Alright, I'm putting you in, Steve. I'm putting you in.
Let's fucking get Frost, you and me right now. Let's go.
That needs to be
Wedding.
debated
Oh my God, Joey.
right now.
Okay, so do you remember back, when that one guy shot up the movie theater because of the Batman premiere? So you're saying we should not have
Yeah.
background checks because they're bad, but yet all
Explain
this
to me
stuff
how the-
happens,
no, no,
all
no, no,
these school
explain to me
shootings
how the-
happen.
Oh, I read the whole thing about that.
Of course you did.
Oh, of course.
No, not-
And you
I'm not
also
from the
read,
news.
oh, no, your dad was probably George Washington, you're gonna say? You also traveled around the world?
Okay. Anyway,
No, there's no anyway. You're saying, oh, God, my fucking...
You realize that background checks are made to stop weapons from coming into the hands of dangerous
You're
people
saying-
who would harm
But when
the
they do
average
that,
You're
citizen.
saying
could-
that background
see, it could be
checks
taken
would
advantage
not
of. It can make-
save lives.
nope, it wouldn't. Because imagine
Why?
if everybody
Why?
in that movie
Because
theater
if a-
had.
No. Fucking shut the fuck
They
up.
can't afford
wait.
guns.
Let me talk. No.
Alright, goodbye.
Because if a psychotic person walked
User
up...
left your channel.
Oh my God, this kid.
I think I know what I was gonna say. He was gonna say, imagine if everyone in that theater was armed. Yeah, but they probably could have been armed with a background check that they had gotten from the government.
Don't ask what I just did.
Without background checks. Oh my God. Like his example, if the dude that shot up the movie theater, with background checks, that wouldn't have happened.
You know, there's another thing, and Joey brought this up before, and I know, in fact, he never mentioned. I've been wanting to mention, but you didn't allow me to
Fuck my
say it.
throat.
You know what he said? He said, and I quote, that we should not that we should give her like healthcare and food stamps and and welfare, for the things. Me personally, I'm not gonna get into my personal background, but there are people out there who actually do need it.
Yeah, that's like saying anything with corruption should be fucking outlawed. Okay, so the 1% should be outlawed. Like, he wants to support the 1%. He probably comes from a rich family. God, my throat.
Well, his mic is shit. I think he's like a generally stupid southerner who's actually poor. Kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
me.
His dad was fucking
Ornamento. I'm calling Joey and yelling him at right now.
Oh, fuck my throat. I shouldn't have done that.
I'm
Fuck.
ending this now.
Okay, but also another thing is that, like, seriously, you should look at the murder rate per 100,000, like, before and after background checks.
Yeah, okay. I am against. I'm for gun control because why should you need to walk around with the AR-15 in a completely safe neighborhood because you want to stop a hostage situation? It's like, dude, you do not need to walk around with the AR-15 fully loaded in public because you don't feel safe.
But they won't, like, shoot strawmen.
Like, I get a pistol, like, conceal and carry, yeah, but you don't need to walk around with, oh, fuck my throat, with the AR-15 on your back.
Yeah, that's like way too overkill.
Like, dude,
Dude,
when
I
are you
was
gonna
joking.
save a hostage situation? You're not counter-terrorists, this is not CSGO.
This is not Iraq, this is not Afghanistan.
This is not made for me, my throat's about to die in a hole.
Oh, stupid wants to come back after I banned it. I actually banned him.
Let him come back in. I want to debate this with him fervently.
I don't care if my fucking throat explodes, which it feels like it is. I will fucking debate this to the death.
Okay,
right
so
now,
Frost,
it's-
please let me talk to him. I want to freaking end this.
Okay.
I'm ending
Is-
this. He started. I'm ending his. My army.
It feels like the lava of
User
Mount
was
Doom
moved
is
to
flowing
your
Alright,
down
channel.
my
yeah,
throat.
let's go. Let's go right now. You and me. Frost, shut up for a second.
Alright, subject is background checks. Go.
Alright, stupid. What's your opinion on back? Why do you hate it? Freaking tell me why. And don't give me some freaking bullshit about the freaking movie theater shit. FYI, you can talk, bitch.
You can talk.
Sorry, but I gotta go in like 2 minutes.
Alright, quick,
Because-
just quickly do your argument.
Oh gosh. Anyway, the reason is because they could use it to the government's advantage to take away guns from normal people. What they would do is they basically say, "Oh, you're not sane," when the person actually is sane, and basically don't let him have guns even though he's perfectly
And on
sane.
top of it, please explain why do you hate freaking well-canned food stamps?
Wait, before we get to that.
Shut it. You shut up for a second.
Oh
I'm
gosh.
tired of this.
Talk power
I'm freaking
revoked.
ending this goddamn thing. So
And
tell me why.
are you gonna
Tell
ban
me
me
why.
at the end
Tell
of
me
this?
why.
Are you gonna ban me at the end of this?
Maybe. Tell me why.
Because it costs too much money, and
So basically,
and
you're
it
saying
ruins
poor
incentive.
people who have no money and actually physically cannot work due to medical reasons and all that stuff. These are alright.
Well, you see, they should create something else
Have
for
fun
people to do.
dying.
Can you please listen? Thank you. Now, people with medical reasons is a different story, but I'm betting you probably over 90% of it is given to people that can work. I know people that are on welfare
And
that
you
can
know what?
work.
There are people who actually do have jobs and they still need it, and they actually do.
Because
So basically,
poverty.
most of the freaking Americans out there are basically drug addicts who basically can't work but choose not to. You know what?
Because
I'm
incentive.
freaking
I
out
mean,
of this
if
'cause I have a lot of personal stuff when it comes to that. You know what?
What like
Let's pick Barry Lewis.
you're
Oh,
get.
yeah, first.
User in your channel was banned from the
All right,
server.
I was gonna argue with him a little more, but the thing, yeah, it's like honestly, like some people need
Talk
food
power
stamps to.
revoked.
This crap.
Some people need food stamps to survive, as in like to live.
He's gone. I freaking banned him. He ain't coming back tonight.
All right.
I freaking ended his damn ass. And you know for a fact I have personal ties to that shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell Joey you fucked with the wrong New Englander.
Hold on a second. Who wants to freaking call? Damn ass fucking freaking endorse this fucking shit motherfucking niggas. You freaking mess with the wrong motherfucker. Wanna say more freaking shit? Let's go. Let's go right now. Fucking tell me. Go. Freaking a call with him right now. Bitch, no.
Fucking savage. Savage Steve is savage.
FYI, I basically just told him, said, why don't you just freaking smart enough, lose all the damn money you have, and actually act like a normal person.
Oh God, Joey wants to talk to me. I'm just gonna see how this works. Hello? Oh God, that Michael. The now basically you fucked with you done fucked up, Joey. You fucked with the wrong New Englander, because you know what's going on with Steve's family. His father his family, his father is medically unable to work. And so his family requires government assistance. If it didn't have that assistance, yes, I know, but I know you're talking about. I will in a moment, Steve, but I know how you said you support it for people like who need to work, but who can't work, but you don't like it for people who physically are able to work, but still, some people who even are working still need it because they need it to survive, because poverty is an awful thing. You can't just have this dog eat dog world of pure cynicism
Went excessively cuckoo
where
banning and stuff.
where
Basically discrimination when you ban someone for their opinions.
well, that's more of censorship, that's more censorship, not discrimination, but that's besides the point. But the thing is that you can't just succumb to this cynical worldview of, well, if you can't make it, then you're doomed, then you just have to live with this depressing, fighting for your life world of poverty. The government is responsible for the well-being of its people. A government, I think it was said by the bloke who wrote, what's that one book? Lord of the Flies. He was an Englishman. He said something along the lines of, a government can be judged on how it treats, like, its worst off people. And we need to help those worse off than us, not spurn them because we think they're lazy or some crazy shit like that. We have to help people, not turn them away out of greed.
I just want to tell you one thing. I've seen people who are literally taking advantage of food stamps.
Yes, there are some people who do that, but that's not the majority at all. Like, the majority of people who use food stamps need them to survive. Because...
Do you think, okay, he wants me to come back. I don't get it. Is he bipolar? He wants me to come in, then he bans me. Then he wants me to come in, then bans
He wants to be... I'm gonna be straight up with you. He wants to roast the fuck out of you. There is going to be a roasting if you walk back into this TeamSpeak. Alright, we're back on!
You want to mess with a freaking New England? I dare you to.
User disconnected from your channel.
You know what? That's it. You bitch want to play this? You're alright. Fine.
Alright, he says that he has to go. But alright, that is the end of this little...
No. Before you go, let me put this. Here's the ban client is Joey. You mess all caps. You mess with the wrong dude, comma. Hit him right between the eyes. Permit banned. Click.
Alright, a permaban just happened. Anyways, that's the end of this little talk show that I ended up moderating. I am Basileus, and I will see you guys later. Have a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good evening.